Ferocious beast monsters rushed toward dungeon party, while Athena led frontline assault immediately there. Amidst celebratory crowd, Athena obtained recognition title, golden flower childhood friend smiling proudly there. Est recalled mission promise observing Athena calm determined adventurer, pursuing future goal firmly now. Previously expelled Est reflected silently aiming strongest adventurer world journey continues forward unknown path. Resolute Est advanced alone, remembering party objective, becoming greatest adventurers worldwide, beyond all limits. Stardust party leader Athena announced Est expulsion during tense meeting inside headquarters room today. Shocked Est stood as teammates, questioned decision, refusing acceptance of sudden banishment order issued. Athena insisted decision remained unanimous while party members reacted with mixed uncertain emotions present. Silently Est departed headquarters processing betrayal, while questioning future path as adventurer alone forward. Party members felt uneasy aftermath, realizing missing Est would greatly impact future battles significantly there. Guild party achieved silver rank promotion, while Athena announced higher ambitions for future expansion. During meeting Athena criticized Est weakness, as enchanter unable cast spells on himself effectively. Team members justified decision, insisting support system required protection, while Est contribution considered limited. Dazed Est reacted shocked questioning betrayal, as Athena firmly declared expulsion, without hesitation present, confronting Est revealing broken promise, while party tensions rose between former comrades now there. Coldly Athena declared expulsion while Est stood shocked inside quiet guild headquarters room now. Refused compensation money, despite teammates insisting he should accept payment for departure there seen. Members argued loudly while Est insisted he will leave this party immediately now there. Rejected Est completely stating his presence makes future success impossible for them there now. Storming out furious vowing he will never forgive party betrayal again. Ever now there. Through city streets clenching fist, while anger burned after banishment decision, deeply Est there. Watching quietly from window, as Est disappeared into distant crowded avenue alone. Now there, celebrating party promotion believing progress easier, without former member Est present there. Now there, reconsidered strategy, realizing Est value might have been underestimated earlier during battles now. There we can keep Est from dying. Athena finally decided returning to rescue plan ahead, discussing party promotion, while Athena justified Est removal from team decision inside headquarters now. Rejecting compensation money despite teammates insisting he should accept it during departure seen there. Explaining party goals while memories of Est support surface among members internally now there. Monsters attack party during dungeon mission causing chaos, as Est is remembered instantly now. Waking up suddenly, after nightmare hearing voices calling his name loudly again here. There gathering table deciding expel Est, while concerned safety for him grows now, there now. Discussed Est is weak enchanter, while members debate whether he can survive alone future. Arguments intensify as party questions waiting period, while Est life becomes uncertain dangerous situation. Agreeing reluctantly with Athena, while expressing regret over decision, may cost Est life now. Another member suggests improvements, while questioning Athena final judgment about Est expulsion decision here. Officially party assigns Est out while members accept orders under Athena leadership calmly there. Beginning being pushed new duties as others justify workload distribution without him now there. Internal conflict grows as party argues over fairness, while Est emotionally distanced outside group, quietly prepares leave alone stating he needs space while comrades react with confusion there. Lighthearted misunderstanding follows as members joke around while Est absence begins affecting emotions strongly. Entrusting Est smiling confidently while tension between party members quietly remained unresolved there now. Stepping away from group room, after awkward exchange leaving atmosphere heavy behind there now. Escalated arguments as party members separated deciding rest while frustration lingered strongly there now. Resting alone on bed worrying about future, after uncertain party separation today now. There, lying silently on bed, reflecting on choices while uncertainty filled his thoughts now there. Remembering Athena words about Dale, feeling determined to prove himself, again alone now there. Deciding in bed decided quietly to do his best moving forward. Now here, there. Encircling wolves surrounded battlefield. Est recalled expulsion, uncertain about fate awaiting ahead now there. Est clenched fist after strike, realizing party viewed him useless. Enchantment mage rejected now. Swiftly Athena advanced rapidly. Daru and Miralia excelled. Est felt unwanted baggage member status. Indifferently Athena rejected Est, stating party no longer needed him for future missions now. Eventually Est resolved to leave, determined prove worth, change everyone's judgment alone now there. With an intermediate labyrinth, Est fought inner doubt, while pushing forward alone now there. Here bloodied Est realized his strikes failed completely against overwhelming monsters inside cavern. Now there, ferocious horned demon mocked Est, crushing confidence while questioning his true strength brutally there. Meanwhile, Athena rushed through battlefield, remembering Est dream while chaos erupted intensely now there. Ultimately final moment revealed Est collapsing. Athena regretfully acknowledged feelings and lost opportunity now. Inside labyrinth Est awakens unexpected power. Wounds healing, while enchantment magic surges within now. Confronting monstrous enemy, Est struggles, but notices strength increasing as wounds close strangely now. Confused Est discovers enchantment runes activating, realizing magic is cast on himself automatically now. During sudden attack, Est counters instinctively, surprising monster, while spells affect surroundings oddly now. Overwhelmed demon lunges forward, Est retaliates with empowered strike, chains breaking explosive force now. Amid fierce combat, Est gains confidence as Miralia lands powerful ice attack threat now. Recovered Athena, Est coordinates party movements, noticing enemy patterns, becoming predictable battle. Now, their awakening realization, enchantment abilities activate differently, strengthening allies, while analyzing battlefield conditions now there. Renewed determination, Est leads party forward, promising victory and stronger future ahead now there. Morning arrives peacefully, Est greets companions preparing for another expedition with resolve now there. Within fierce labyrinth clash, Est pushes forward determined, proving strength beyond former limits now. Amidst chaotic battle, Est strikes relentlessly, overwhelming monsters while power evolves inside now there. Victorious Est reflects confidently, understanding enchantment, magic key to surviving stronger foes ahead now. Reunited determination drives Est forward, calling Athena, declaring new ambition to grow further now. Dawn arrives peacefully, Est greets companions ready, beginning new journey with resolve now there. Deep intermediate labyrinth. Daru leads party forward, while Est no longer present, shifting dynamics, carrying supplies. Athena and Miralia struggle, realizing Est's support was essential before now there. Group reflects first dungeon expedition without Est, noticing heavier burden and slower progress now. Sudden discovery of strange monster crystal shocks party, breaking calm journey battle preparation now. Danger escalates as demon beetle appears, prompting warning, while group recognizes unfamiliar labyrinth threat. Camp analysis, Est examines demon crystal showing northern origin differences carefully today. Now there, questioning Daru experience, party realizes long adventuring history explains his strength. Now there, calmly Est explains circumstances while party questions past decisions and lack earnings previously now. Warning enemies ahead, Est urges party to brace before advancing into danger now there. Casting, ice magic, Athena releases icicle shot supporting party formation, aggressively now there. Chaotic battlefield, Athena struggles against monster while teammates analyze unstable combat performance now there. Observing fight, Athena movements become unstable while allies assess damage pressure. Now they're here, team discusses battlefield conditions. Athena stamina and precision, declining under continuous monster assault. Now desperate swings through monster attacks. Strength imbalance while enemy counters aggressively now they're here. Clash intensifies as Athena overwhelmed mid-strike. Enemy retaliating violently inside labyrinth chaos now. Suddenly Est provides potion saving Athena during desperate battle situation, immediate rescue now there. Shocked Athena realizes Est acted quickly while party watches confused intense fight. Now there, Miralia notices Est protecting Athena while confusion spreads across group battlefield. Now they're here. Daru analyzes situation calmly while Est fights fiercely against monsters within chaos. Now there, realizing dangerous truth, enemy pressure rises causing intense battlefield awareness, awakening now they're here. Intense battle, Miralia lands critical ice strike, while Est guides timing carefully now there. Receiving healing support, party stabilizes after clash, recovering strength and coordination immediately now there. Demonstrating basic healing magic, Morelia questions sudden capability and support usage. Now they're here, calm moment. Athena rests safely while Est and Morelia discuss lingering concerns behavior. Now tension eases slightly, group conversation reveals misunderstandings, while Est remains distant yet attentive now. Regretful discussions spread among party members, realizing Est importance within group present, now there. Alone Athena drinks, reflecting Est expulsion decision, earlier regret lingering strongly now there. Teammates discuss Est absence, while uncertainty grows within group dynamics. Now they're here. Elsewhere Est travels alone through labyrinth, silently training while reconsidering past choices now there. Party gathers discussing drinking incident, slowly confronting emotions about Est present now there. Unexpectedly, Est grabs Athena before she falls after drinking too much evening now there. Leaning close, Athena causes Est panic while misunderstanding creates awkward tension room. Now there, later Est carries exhausted Athena through hallway, recalling embarrassing drinking incident night. Now there, afterwards group discusses responsibilities while Est reflects silently role within party dynamics, Athena dependence. Finally Est supports Athena, gently promising to protect chaotic lifestyle, unresolved feelings now there. Embracing Athena, tension breaks, revealing emotional closeness and confusion between them now there. Panicked realization of situation, questioning reality, while holding door, seeing Est suddenly now there. Shocked Est as Daru calls his name, signaling unexpected reunion, rising tension ahead. Now, Est returned home, hopeful, but saw Daru embracing Athena inside room, silently immediately there. Daru denied everything, while Est confronted him, trembling, unable believing situation fully now there. Est snapped, emotionally attacking Daru, while others restrained him, shouting loudly inside room chaos. Est accused Athena of betrayal, while Daru defended her and shouted stop there now. Est collapsed, emotionally realizing misunderstanding about Athena, while regret filled his heart deeply there. Est returns home furious under rain, vowing revenge and surpassing former party members now. Est charges forward aggressively. Daru shouts stop while blocking him inside tense hallway scene. Athena sleeps peacefully, while Daru watches over her. Relieved Est will not witness this, Daru reassures Athena's strength, explaining Est's absence while urging her resolve for future battles. Later Daru questions Esther's presence earlier, noticing Athena resting and uncertain situation overall there. Est noticed adventurer papers while Athena considered recruiting someone into their group carefully today. Dragon tribe gathered eating heavily while savage dragon consumed food inside guild next day. Frey relaxed confidently, still complaining about hunger while resting alone near wooden tables. Now, Frey invited savage dragon group, while Est and Athena observed situation with surprise closely. Athena resolved cooperation, as Est accepted dragon alliance, strengthening adventurer party future mission plan. Frey's identity is revealed as a skilled dragon tribe fighter, while Est questions recruitment and concerns arise within the party. Next day at the Adventurer Guild, Frey is officially recruited, while Est reacts with shock and uncertainty about her behavior. During guild meal, Frey eats excessively while Est observes discomfort and doubts about her savage reputation and stability. Frey suddenly suggests removing Est from the party, causing immediate shock as tensions rise among members at the table. Athena and others refuse the decision and defend Est, insisting he is necessary despite earlier disagreements within the group. Frey manipulates party, urging Morelia to expel Est for weakness within Adventurer Guild meeting. Party members discuss Morelia's arrogance, calling Est boring and useless member during heated discussion scene. Frey openly mocks Est while praising directness, shocking others present, causing tension among members. Group justifies expulsion using survival principles, believing Est weak mage, without considering true consequences. Aftermath shows doubt, as they mention Est realizing banishment decision. Silent aftermath moment. Leader warns recruitment drop while Morelia intimidates members during tense guild meeting scene. Now party members insult Est while Frey provokes, spreading hatred and escalating internal party tension. Frey mocks Est, praising meritocracy principle while party reacts with shock and confusion present. Party justifies expulsion using survival rules, dismissing Est as weak mage without regret there. Aftermath shows doubt rising as members realize consequences of expelling Est in silence now. Moralia warns recruitment drop while Frey provokes Est about insulting former members' tense situation. Party members gather discussing Est, while Frey ignores warning and tension rises among group. Frey mocks Est claiming meritocracy, while Daru reacts angrily questioning party judgment about exile. Frey smiles provocatively suggesting Est discard bracelet, while Daru becomes visibly disturbed now. Daru challenges Frey to bare-handed duel, establishing hierarchy while Frey confidently accepts match immediately. Est and Daru observe Frey with tense suspicion as challenge begins. Moralia warns silently. Frey provokes Daru and invites bare-handed duel. Inside Guildhall, Daru accepts challenge, firmly refusing intimidation, and steps forward with determination.
Frey provoked Daru past his limit. He accepted the duel, determined to teach her respect. Just before the clash escalated, a swordswoman swiftly intervened, blocking both with her blade mid-strike. Neither Daru nor Frey expected interference. Shock deepened as the woman's quiet fury began radiating outward. Her voice thundered with authority, scolding both hotheads for jeopardizing harmony and embarrassing the entire guild. With heads lowered, they accepted defeat. The swordswoman, Golden Flower, restored order without drawing real blood. Athena decided the party would train in the labyrinth to test teamwork and real coordination. Ignoring Athena's warning, Frey rushed off excitedly, eager to prove her strength to the others. Daru reflected on his earlier outburst, vowing to act maturely as the group's oldest member. They gathered at the entrance. With fresh resolve, the party stepped into the labyrinth together. Inside, Athena fought fiercely but lacked precision. Daru observed her, noting her timing still needed work. Athena's warning came too late. Miriel lost her footing while attacking the incoming enemy head-on. Reacting quickly, Mirelia unleashed ice magic to slow the enemy before it reached her teammate. With sharp precision, Frey launched a crushing strike that shattered the monster's skull instantly upon contact. Irritation boiled over as Frey scolded Athena mid-battle for hesitating and lowering the group's momentum. Daru watched Frey's barrage in awe. Her overwhelming strength tore through monsters without losing any rhythm. Frey charged in aggressively, tearing through monsters. Daru watched silently, stunned by her raw force. Her claws tore into another enemy's chest. Each blow reaffirmed her title, Raging Dragon. Frey. Momentum surged through her limbs. Covered in blood, she pressed forward with unmatched speed. Once the dust settled, Frey turned to scold everyone, demanding answers for their sloppy performance. Frustration surfaced. She confronted Athena, criticizing her lackluster effort and calling it a disappointing display. Frey expressed disbelief at Athena's performance, remembering her as far stronger during their last encounter. Sitting exhausted, Athena admitted Esset's enchantments had once amplified her strength beyond her natural ability. Disappointment crept across Frey's face. She had expected a rival, not someone struggling without magical aid. Frustrated by the imbalance, she lashed out, declaring the party too weak for true cooperation. Daru challenged her view directly, stating teamwork failed not from weakness but from her unwillingness to trust. Instead of cooperating, Frey pointed fingers at Daru, blaming him for the team's repeated failures. Raising her voice, she accused the others of weakness, refusing to accept any shared responsibility. Daru countered firmly, highlighting how she ignored the team and recklessly fought monsters on her own. Without hesitation, Frey grabbed Daru's shirt, insisting that defeating enemies solo should have proven her worth. He questioned her pride, warning that tougher foes awaited ones no single fighter could ever overcome. Gripping her wrist, Daru reminded her that today's trial was meant to test cooperation, not dominance. Furious, he called out her selfish behavior, challenging her to fight alone if she preferred isolation. Holding back tears, Frey turned away in silence, halted suddenly by a firm voice behind her. Athena stepped forward, admitting her weakness honestly, but refused to bend under Frey's pressure. While praising Frey's strength, she still rejected partnership, unwilling to chase lofty goals without mutual trust. She extended a hand, inviting Frey to join their journey and strive for greatness together. After a tense pause, Frey reluctantly agreed to stay, masking her decision with casual defiance. The group regrouped after battle. Athena acknowledged Frey's strength, though her ego still clashed with teamwork. Privately, Athena thanked Daru for his support, grateful for words that steadied her shaken confidence. Though admitting her weakness, Athena vowed to become stronger, determined to catch up and stand equal. Athena smiled with trust, counting on Daru as their dependable leader to guide future battles ahead. Watching Frey tease the youngest, Daru chuckled, confident that their team could reach the gold rank. With renewed spirit, the four adventurers stood united, ready to face challenges as the new Stardust. Weeks passed, and deep within a dungeon, a monstrous roar echoed from the lower cavern depths. Nearby adventurers stood frozen in disbelief, witnessing a beast torn apart effortlessly by an unknown party. Blades flashed through monsters as Estok cut down enemies alone, moving with unmatched speed and precision. Onlookers were stunned by his solo advance. News spread quickly of his self-applied enchantment magic. Whispers turned to comparisons as former allies watched his rise, questioning their own declining stardust. Covered in dirt and silence, Daru's party returned battered, but still walking forward as one unit. Spectators scoffed at their appearance, mocking even Athena's title, blind to their quiet, determined resolve. Reputation began to crumble. Stardust's struggle in the labyrinth became gossip whispered across the guild hall. Despite weeks of training, Frey and Athena remained divided, their teamwork unable to progress beyond basics. Some questioned if banishing Est was a mistake, wondering whether Athena still hoped for his return. At the guild counter, tensions rose. Exhausted and dismissed, they faced shame even outside the battlefield. Everyone turned in shock, standing silently at the entrance. Est had returned without a word. Iptha stood calmly as his former comrades froze, unprepared for such a sudden confrontation. Though Daru hoped for peace, he sensed the deep rift between Athena and Est remained. Tension grew. Frey's presence complicated things further, and relying on Est now risked further instability. Athena forced a smile, expressing relief at Est's condition, yet guilt lingered behind her words. Smirking, Est dismissed her concern, reminding them they had fallen long before he ever did. Est mocked their weakness, revealing how much they had unknowingly depended on him until now. He approached Athena, disappointed by her decline, unable to hide how far she had fallen. With a sharp glare, Est promised she'd regret the decision that forced him out forever. Mirelia stepped in, sensing Est's anger growing dangerous, while Athena lowered her voice in apology. As they walked away in silence, laughter echoed, reminding them who truly lost that day. Guilt weighed heavily on her chest, as self-blame echoed louder than anyone else's judgment. Glory once expected from Stardust had crumbled, leaving only resentment, shame, and visible public scorn. Not a single word came out. Humiliation crushed her pride beyond repair in that moment. A condescending smirk formed as Est watched her free, pain finally surfacing in her eyes. Daru's stern voice cut through the air, reminding Est not to let pride go unchecked. Accusations flared between them, distrust overriding every explanation offered about the night. Everything went wrong. Confidence in Athena's growth remained unshaken, even when Est challenged their strength without him. Each voice rose in defense of her, citing courage, sacrifice, and loyalty as reasons to believe. Memories and respect aligned. Emotions surged as they affirmed who she truly was underneath everything. With unwavering resolve, Daru declared his belief in Athena, standing firm beside her battered form. As Daru led the group out, Est stood alone, his fury masked behind silence. Joy returned briefly. Mirelia cheered as tension eased, proud of Daru's decisive stand. Encouragement reached Athena, yet doubts lingered while plans and reality weighed heavily on her shoulders. A quiet smile followed Daru's words, his confidence steady even in the face of uncertainty. Frey stepped forward, eyes sharp with resolve, assuring them all that strategy was already forming. Athena fought fiercely in the dungeon's middle level, adapting to relentless battles with hardened resolve. Despite clear instructions, Frey impulsively attacked the monster, drawing Athena's anger and disrupting their strategy. Tensions rose as Athena blamed Frey for their slow progress, while Daru plotted to humble her. To settle disputes, Athena proposed a competitive time attack. Whoever slays more monsters in equal time wins. Daru split them into two teams, Frey with Athena and himself paired with Mirelia. Frey dismissed cooperation again, blaming the others, while Daru urged understanding for the party's survival. With calm certainty, Daru pointed out Frey's flaws, revealing her impact on their stagnation and performance. Provoked and prideful, Frey recklessly accepted the challenge, offering everything if she lost even her dignity. Athena hesitated, but Mirelia reassured her. Daru's expression showed he had already prepared for every outcome. Daru explained the match rules and conditions. The first move belonged to Athena and Frey against Wolf. Frey braced herself with fierce focus, determined to silence Daru by winning the match swiftly. She lunged forward, slicing down one beast, then launched into another kill without losing momentum. While Athena struggled to keep up, Frey shouted criticism mid-battle, maintaining control of the fight. Though clearly capable, Athena lagged. Frey claimed the lead, forcing her way to the final enemy. Without hesitation, Frey crushed the last monster, boasting confidently as she demanded her time from Daru. Frey stepped back smugly, blaming Athena for delays, while Daru prepared silently for his team's turn. As identical monsters approached again, Daru and Mirelia readied themselves without arrogance or unnecessary words. Sand burst beneath his steps, and with precise strength, Daru struck down enemies in a single blow. Mirialia followed with flawless ice magic, her spell devastating the pack with chilling, lethal precision. All monsters lay slain before the others reacted. Athena and Frey demanded the final time anxiously. Daru revealed their time not even halfway, leaving everyone stunned by the overwhelming speed. Frey protested the outcome, blaming intermediate magic as an unfair advantage in their match. Excuses fell flat when Daru pointed out her refusal to collaborate or understand their capability. Her earlier interference with Athena's fight weakened their performance, exposing her lack of team awareness. Furious and humiliated, Frey lashed out, struggling to accept the lesson that Daru had orchestrated. Without hesitation, Daru challenged Frey to a one-on-one match, completely confident in his skills. She mocked his bare hands, but Daru's words subtly pushed her pride to accept immediately. Frey rushed in furiously, while Daru calmly analyzed her stance with a quiet, focused gaze. With precise timing, he landed a devastating strike, stopping her wild attack in an instant. Calm and in control, Daru leaned in close, promising to personally teach her real combat skill. Frey stood frozen as Daru unexpectedly offered to teach her how to properly fight. Despite hesitation, she accepted the challenge, coughing from exhaustion yet unwilling to back down. Drawing a deep breath, Frey prepared herself while Daru calmly invited her to attack any time. With a fierce cry, she lunged forward, aiming directly at him with unrestrained aggression. Observers gasped as Frey's speed surged, forcing Daru to block instinctively under her sudden assault. Frey's attacks came fast and relentless, but Daru calmly dodged each strike without stepping back. While she predicted a body hit, Daru shifted in and drew her attention with precise movement. He struck directly at her face, countering hard, surprising her and breaking her stance mid-assault. Daru revealed a feint mid-step, disrupting her rhythm just before launching a swift retaliation. With one clean hit, Frey was knocked down. Daru stood firm, calmly pointing out her weak guard. Daru asked if she surrendered, but Frey coughed and questioned his strength in disbelief. Instead of yielding, she screamed defiantly and lunged forward with renewed energy, fists clenched and body trembling. He acknowledged her willpower, but calmly pointed out how her attacks remained obvious and easy to read. Frey launched another strike, but Daru evaded smoothly and countered with a clean, punishing elbow to her face. She retaliated with a surprise grapple, lifting his body and slamming him forcefully into the ground. Daru pinned her against the rock, leaving spectators speechless that Frey was defeated so quickly. No matter how hard she struggled, her body refused to escape his relentless, precise grip. Explaining calmly, Daru applied pressure in key joints, warning that resistance would only cause serious injury. He demonstrated control by casually lifting her head, showing a finishing move could be delivered effortlessly. Finally, Daru asked if she understood. Frey hesitated, then admitted defeat through gritted teeth and frustration. Daru remained firm, stating he wouldn't release her until surrender came directly from her mouth. After hesitating in silence, she finally admitted defeat, her pride shattered but her will exhausted. Smiling casually, he reminded her not to call him old man, claiming brotherly energy instead. Frey collapsed to her knees, while Daru declared the match over and called everyone to leave. With a final glance, he reassured the others, then calmly walked away, leaving no resentment behind. Tears welled as she cradled her bruised face. Realizing she had become truly strong, she turned away in frustration, swearing to remember this loss and never allow it again. Daru's group walked ahead, a new resolve forming. Thus began the Banisher's journey to start over. After defeating Frey in battle, Daru returns to his room, body aching and spirit drained. The bath is full, so Daru decides to rest alone until someone knocks unexpectedly. Frey enters silently, her eyes uneasy. Daru senses tension, unsure why she's come to him. Without warning, she begins undressing. Daru recoils in confusion, shouting in disbelief at her sudden behavior. Frozen mid-motion, Frey looks away with conflicted eyes, her body trembling with vulnerability and silent intent. Frey hesitates, then reveals she made a vow, her voice trembling with conflicted determination. She explains the promise, to surrender her virginity to anyone capable of defeating her. Daru panics and protests, insisting he never wanted such a reward or made any claim. Their argument grows louder, both flustered, shouting over each other in mutual embarrassment and frustration. After the chaos settles, they sit in silence, acknowledging strength, pride, and misunderstood intentions between them. Frey admits defeat without excuses, acknowledging Daru's growth and reflecting on her own mistakes honestly. Daru explains their victory wasn't luck, it was precise coordination, Mirialia's magic triggered by his signal. He criticizes Frey for acting alone, reminding her that teamwork matters if she joins a party. Embarrassed, she reveals her recklessness came from impatience and fear of falling behind everyone around her. Old memories resurface, mocked by villagers, isolated in childhood. She learned weakness invites scorn and cruelty. An adventurer returned to the village. Frey challenged him eagerly and was swiftly defeated. Impressed by his strength, she began learning about monsters, strategies, and legendary adventurers from him. Motivated by his teachings, Frey trained, learned magic, and finally earned the villagers' recognition. Despite joining a party, she fought selfishly, ignoring allies and claiming kills without coordination. Refusing to work with weaker members, she left the group, declaring them unworthy of her. Frey hoped joining Stardust would elevate her, but Athena's decline left her deeply disappointed. Survival demanded strength, and lacking results made her fear losing status, respect, and recognition entirely. Daru was stunned by her desperation, realizing she pushed herself further than he had imagined. Fueled by rivalry, Frey felt threatened as Athena steadily improved through constant effort and combat. He acknowledged Athena's vast potential, believing Frey also sensed it, and became increasingly anxious in response. Daru advised her to study others' tactics, absorb their methods, and shape her own strength. She nodded silently, signaling understanding, and a calm sense of resolution returned between them. Before moving forward, she knew one final step remained, something uncomfortable, yet necessary for growth. Frey stood silently as Daru led her forward. Athena and Miralia turned to listen. Hesitation filled her chest. Avoiding their eyes, she revealed something buried since those distant, forgotten days. Pain laced her voice. Desperate to be seen, she chased strength, fearing rejection and insignificance. Tears formed as guilt overwhelmed her. Blind ambition had hurt others. She finally whispered a sincere apology. Acceptance seemed uncertain. Frey faced judgment quietly, knowing her regrets had surfaced far too late now. Athena gently praised Frey's courage, admitting her own faults as the team's struggling, imperfect leader. With sincerity in her voice, Athena asked whether Frey could still trust and follow her leadership. Frey's heart trembled. Hearing acceptance in Athena's voice, she finally smiled through tears and nodded. Laughter filled the room. Together, they decided to celebrate Frey's place as a true companion. Surrounded by warmth and laughter, Frey realized belonging didn't hurt. It actually felt really good. Warm candlelight flickered as laughter and clinking glasses filled the room, marking their first peaceful celebration. Later that night, silence returned. Frey and Athena collapsed asleep while Daru handled the aftermath alone. Miralia, still sober, stepped forward when asked. Calm and composed, she offered to help Daru clean. While tidying, she shared surprising news. Est had formed a party with 2 female beastskin allies. Daru paused. Hearing the name Starlight made it clear Est hadn't changed, just found a new path. He quietly smiled. Hearing Est had allies now, despite past actions, he genuinely felt some relief. Est's progress surprised. Growth had come quickly, and perhaps this new team held real potential. Miralia calmly suggested Est could now reach gold rank, a level once thought far beyond him. Daru listened as she shifted focus, subtly praising his hidden strength and past accomplishments without hesitation. She stood firm. Her gaze didn't waver, believing Daru's power might surpass even gold rank standards. Then he frowned, uncertain how to respond as questions about hidden strength pressed in from Miralia. She pointed out inconsistencies, limited attacks, unmatched knowledge, and a pace that never aligned with his peers. Today's battle proved everything. He overwhelmed Frey effortlessly, despite her nearing the threshold of gold rank. Miralia believed his strength far exceeded expectations. Her suspicion focused on the mysterious bracelet always worn. Carefully, he explained. The bracelet was a gift. Victory came from martial arts, nothing more supposed. Daru brushed off the idea of hidden strength, teasing instead that Miralia wasn't showing hers either. Though flustered, she warned him stagnation would leave him behind while others advanced with real discipline. With a serious tone, she declared herself stronger than both for now and left without waiting for reply. Left alone, Daru smiled wryly. He knew she could rise higher, if only she believed it. Despite flaws and setbacks, bonds were forming. Bit by bit, Stardust might truly become a great team. While watching everyone laugh together, Daru recalled an older time, one filled with similar smiles and warmth. Daru awoke suddenly on the table, realizing he'd fallen asleep after cleaning alone again. Through the window, he spotted Athena leaving quiet, a sword strapped across her back. She walked into an open field. Curiosity compelled Daru to follow her from a distance. Without warning, Athena drew her sword and launched into a powerful, focused training strike. Observing her intense practice, Daru finally understood she was training secretly to surpass her limits. Athena shouted fiercely, unleashing precise strikes. Each swing carved the air with determined strength. Daru watched in silence, then nodded slightly before announcing a sudden change in their day's plan. Back at home, the dragon girl mimicked combat moves excitedly, inspired by Daru's previous fighting style. She grew frustrated excited after hearing Daru declare a full rest day from the dungeon routine. Daru calmly explained the break was needed, exhaustion loomed, and food supplies were dangerously low again. He asked Athena to accompany him shopping, subtly keeping her from overtraining during break day. Frey forcefully pulled Muriali along, dragging her from sleep and thrusting her into dungeon plan. Despite Daru's earlier warning, Frey charged ahead, dragging Murialia, who muttered complaints through clenched teeth. Ignoring the chaos, Daru sighed and prepared to leave, telling Frey to rest properly instead. The market bustled with unfamiliar energy. Athena, distracted by the crowd, longed to return home. Daru playfully offered a bizarre food, catching Athena off guard with its grotesque appearance. She refused in disbelief, while he casually explained its stink bug-like taste with no shame. Despite the strange start, the two wandered through stalls, enjoying snacks and street performances together. Carrying heavy bags, Athena reflected on the day, vowing to train harder the next morning. Mocking voices surfaced nearby, but Daru's calm reassurance helped her ignore their cruel words completely. While walking together, Athena quietly thanked Daru, realizing how much she'd depended on his support. Reflecting on recent events, she promised herself to grow into someone others could rely on. Instead of heading back, she firmly refused and hinted there was still something left unfinished. With steady eyes, she asked him to join her, surprising Daru with her sudden determination. They arrived at a clothing store, catching Daru completely off guard with her unexpected destination. Surprised by the store's elegance, she realized it was unlike any place she'd visited. Daru requested help from the staff, asking them to choose clothes that suited her perfectly. The clerk complimented Athena's features, insisting such beauty deserved more than her current plain outfit. Before she could protest, Athena was whisked away toward the fitting room with no escape. Flustered and confused, she shouted out, completely overwhelmed by the sudden and unfamiliar shopping experience. Curtains drawn tight, Daru stood frozen while voices outside debated which outfit flattered him most. Awkward silence filled the room as Athena's sudden touch startled him beyond words or reason. Outside, Athena appeared conflicted, tears welled up despite others' cheerful reactions to the dress she wore. Her trembling fingers clutched the sleeves, unsure if this unfamiliar image truly reflected who she was. His stunned admiration broke her doubt, his honest words slowly coaxing warmth back into Athena's heart. Daru made the purchase without hesitation, leaving Athena shocked by his impulsive and cheerful decision. Despite her protest, he proudly declared the cost worthwhile, believing it part of treating her properly. Nightfall arrived as they walked through crowded street, both carrying supplies from the day's unexpected adventure. Athena clutched the bag close, face red, struggling with embarrassment from her unfamiliar feminine appearance. Turning away quickly, she insisted they head home, flustered by Daru's compliments and growing affection. They walked side by side in silence until Daru gently brought up her lingering unease about Est. His words revealed how much he noticed her pain, her effort, and her quiet suffering throughout training. Acknowledging her fears, he reminded her why she pushed forward to lead and become the strongest someday. Steps paused briefly as he questioned her resolve, asking if she'd keep enduring for that distant goal. His quiet encouragement assured her detours like this were acceptable, even necessary to move forward without breaking. They walked side by side in silence until Daru gently brought up her lingering unease about Est. His words revealed how much he noticed her pain, her effort, and her quiet suffering throughout training. Acknowledging her fears, he reminded her why she pushed forward to lead and become the strongest someday. Steps paused briefly as he questioned her resolve, asking if she'd keep enduring for that distant goal. His quiet encouragement assured her detours like this were acceptable, even necessary to move forward without breaking. A gentle smile formed as she released the lantern, letting go of doubts inside her. Lanterns floated skyward, mirroring her quiet resolution to keep moving forward, even in uncertainty and change. With dawn ahead, Athena resumed training, blade in hand, focus sharp, heart a little lighter. Daru watched from nearby, half exasperated, half proud, knowing her determination burned stronger than anyone else's ever could. Athena no longer chased the past. Instead, she embraced the present and the strength it offered. He agreed to spar without hesitation, offering a light smile as he readied his blade. Excitement surged in her stance, confident and focused, finally able to challenge him with full strength. Blades clashed in open fields, their movements sharp and fast, driven by trust and mutual respect. Inside the dungeon's lower levels, Es confronted beastly enemies alone while channeling his focused light magic. Power surged through his spell circle. With precise timing, Es unleashed a searing solar ray forward. Sora and Fu rushed in. Together, they struck down the remaining monsters with swift coordination. After the battle ended, Es confirmed their safety. None were injured despite the fierce confrontation earlier. Standing beside him were Sora and Fu, former comrades from Stardust, now reunited in battle. A few days earlier, Daru chose Athena's ambition, leaving Est behind without hesitation. Est recalled his exile, scorned by allies for weakness, believing their decision would bring regret. Seeing their backs, Est trembled. He couldn't accept their indifference, their ease in abandoning him. Fu and Sora pleaded nervously to join Est's party, offering strength and loyalty without condition. He, recognizing their origins, welcomed them. It was time to build something stronger than Stardust. Est set his ambition clearly become the world's best. He asked if they'd pursue that dream. Without hesitation, Sora and Fu accepted his challenge. Their resolve matched the strength in Est's voice. Their goal was set surpass Stardust, prove their worth, and expose the injustice of Est's exile. Days passed with training and bonding. Est admired their talent, recognizing their rapid growth in battle. During a quiet moment, Est asked why they joined him, despite having better options available. Sora and Fu immediately responded, praising Est's strength with cheerful smiles and sparkling determination. He hesitated, questioning if strength alone justified their loyalty. They answered sincerely it wasn't everything. Fu gently confessed her admiration, not for power alone, but for Est's unwavering inner resolve. Overcoming exile wasn't easy, yet Est's growth inspired them, giving purpose to their own journey forward. They both stood proud. Loyalty came not from pity, but from deep respect for his will. Hearing their honest answer, emotion stirred, doubt faded as their loyalty quietly reached his heart. Daru's words echoed in memory, his closest ally once, yet blind to what truly mattered. Memories of Athena resurfaced. Knowing her so well made the betrayal deeper, harder to accept. Even so, that painful moment led here to unexpected bonds and strength born from rejection. He faced them again, calm and certain. No complaints remained. This path was now his. Inside the dungeon's middle level, their magic and swordsmanship combined to strike a deadly blow. Working in unison, Athena and Frey executed a swift pincer maneuver to trap the beast. Encouragement spread through the party. Praise lifted spirits, while growth became evident in every exchange. With momentum rising, Daru gathered everyone, proposing a new idea to push their limits further. He asked boldly if they should begin challenging tougher floors and advance deeper into danger. Excitement spread among the group, though caution remained. They had only just begun serious combat. Conquering this stage once symbolized their peak. Repeating it now would prove growth and independence. Confidence united them. With renewed purpose, they agreed to face the boss and claim progress together. Intermediate demons charged forward, their roars shaking the ground. Stardust party stood, blades drawn, ready. Athena gave orders without hesitation. Frey matched her pace, both committed to flawless team coordination. Frey sprinted ahead, catching one ogre's attention. Daru and Athena flanked silently, weapons prepared behind. A crushing strike landed from Athena's blade. She shouted the signal, eyes locked on Frey. With explosive force, Frey's punch erupted into the ogre's chest. Her heat knuckle ended everything instantly. Another demon charged fiercely. Daru watched casually while Miralia calmly warned him of its approach. Without hesitation, Daru evaded the strike. At the same moment, Miralia raised her hand, chanting. Spikes of ice erupted, piercing enemies instantly. Miralia's spell, Ice Shot, froze the battlefield solid. Victory was clear. Daru confirmed the last demon's defeat while Miralia silently lowered her arm. The Stardust team gathered. Though successful, they agreed to review mistakes before advancing any deeper. Everyone gathered to reflect on their battle against the Brugas and review their combat performance. They analyzed positioning and teamwork, agreeing Daru's formation balanced offense, defense, and magical support well. Frey questioned the critique. Though they followed strategy, Daru noted issues in movement during attacks. Despite Athena's strike, the Baruga still tried to retaliate. Its aggression hadn't been suppressed quickly. Direct charges proved risky. Adjustments were suggested: flank from the right, aim precisely, and coordinate finishing blows. During review, Athena learned leg strikes were shallow. Attacks from behind bypass muscle and bone. Future enemies would be smarter, stronger, and some even capable of leading coordinated monster group. Improvements were acknowledged. Frey showed better coordination, while Athena's movement and power progressed steadily. Confidence built as Daru encouraged growth. With strategy and teamwork, stronger foes could be handled next. Excited and ready, both nodded with resolve. No hesitation remained. Their journey was just beginning. While the others trained, Daru reflected quietly, recognizing how quickly they'd progress through raw talent. He watched Frey and Athena move in sync. Their coordination hinted at untapped future potential. His gaze shifted to Miralia. Unlike the others, she remained distant and held back deliberately. Daru questioned her restraint. Stronger spells could have ended the fight faster, yet she remained passive. Miralia dismissed the concern. Though victory was theirs, Daru warned she risked falling behind quickly. She voiced content, brushing off expectation. Her words masked something more complicated underneath the surface. Daru questioned her attitude. She dismissed him coldly, hiding retreat behind fatigue and deliberate distance. He acknowledged her presence wasn't disruptive, though not improving much. She still contributed just enough. A subtle smile formed. Watching those she cared about thrive brought feelings she couldn't easily express. Joy for others clashed with hidden emptiness. Even celebration felt distant within her quiet heart. As dawn broke, the team prepared for another mission except Mirialia, still resting alone inside. Frey announced urgent personal plans, requesting the others proceed without her to the dungeon today. Athena confirmed the plan, casually asking Mirialia if she was okay staying behind with Daru. Daru smiled and asked Mirialia to look after the group in his brief absence. Irritated and confused, Mirialia reluctantly followed as the others dragged her into the day's mission. The group bickered loudly, but Mirialia stayed quiet, secretly wondering where Daru had gone alone. Far from town, Daru wandered peacefully through open field, heading somewhere known only to him. He arrived at a familiar grave, marked by a sword, Ayesha's final resting place in silence. Facing her grave, he gently asked if she'd listened to everything that happened since then. He confessed losing purpose after Ayesha died, but Athena's offer helped him begin again with others. At first, he dismissed Athena as strange and fully intended to reject her unexpected offer. Her bold dream of becoming the greatest adventurer reminded him of someone he once respected. Despite doubts, he joined her party, slowly witnessing how everyone's ambitions began aligning as one. Esta's injury in the dungeon forced a painful decision: his banishment to avoid future deadly risks. Without Esta's enchantments, Athena weakened, her failure stacking until her resolve nearly shattered under pressure. Bruised but defiant, Athena endured the hardships, pushing forward without letting despair consume her will. Seeing her resilience stirred something within Daru, pushing him to stop wasting his days idly. He chose to change, offering guidance, effort, and strength to help stabilize Athena's struggling team. Though Mirialia remained distant, the others steadily grew, accepting flaws, adapting, and trying their best together. Progress slowly shaped them into something real. More than survivors, they were becoming a capable, united party. Regret lingered quietly in his heart, though the decision to expel S still felt necessary. Freed from Athena's shadow, Est awakened strength and now walked confidently beside his own companion. Before Ayesha's grave, Daru finally confessed how he had grown and found peace with himself. With Stardust, he found purpose again, supporting others, moving forward and becoming stronger in his own way. Memories softened his voice as emotions swelled. Smiling, he began to say what mattered most. With a calm smile, he reassured her memory that everything was finally all right now. He turned to leave, promising to return again with stories worth telling and sharing. As he walked away, Ayesha's smiling image lingered, his strength now rooted in her memory. Before departing, he offered one final word of gratitude to the grave that shaped him. Elsewhere, a sinister force awakened within the dungeon, unseen by those who just walked away. Daru leaves the grave behind, carrying hunger in his belly and resolve in heart. He heads toward the guild, hoping to eat while Athena and others prepare their next step. Inside the bustling hall, Daru rests alone as teammates handle the crowded exchange line outside. It recalls Starlight's recent victory over a dungeon boss, and considers adjusting the team's approach. Athena praises S' enhancement magic, acknowledging the team's effort and Daru's vital role in battle. S thinks about switching team roles, but his goal to become the best remains unchanged. Suddenly, he spots Daru nearby. A brief silence hangs between them as emotions resurface quickly. He turns away, trying to leave, but Daru reaches out, stopping him from walking off. Grabbing Est's shoulder, Daru insists there's something important they need to settle between them now. Est resists, throwing sarcasm and anger, accusing Daru of chasing Athena and avoiding real discussion. Daru suddenly raises his voice, catching Est off guard with a confession he hadn't expected. Everything that happened, Daru explains, was purely a misunderstanding that spiraled out of control fast. Trying to clear the air, Daru insists nothing happened between him and Athena that night. Frustration erupts as Est demands answers, accusing Daru of never addressing the issue when needed. Cornered by emotion, Daru admits he stayed quiet out of respect for Est's dedication to Athena. Daru bows deeply, admitting his delay only worsened things and sincerely apologizing for the pain caused. Est recalls the moment he misunderstood, convinced Daru and Athena were in each other's arms. Realization settles slowly, darkness and haste blurred the scene, and Athena's absence was understandable after all. Confusion clouded Est's mind back then, and disbelief turned Daru's words into something hard to trust. Emotion finally breaks through. Est apologizes, acknowledging the hurtful things he'd said while consumed by doubt. He smiles proudly, praising Est's team for clearing the intermediate stage and achieving rapid progress together. Est downplays the success, credits his magic and acknowledges his teammates' effort and potential to grow. With a warm smile, Daru recognizes the strength of Est's current companions without hesitation. A firm decision had been made. Est chooses to walk forward with his new party. Daru respects his choice, offering a farewell without regret, and wishing him well on future paths. Just as Est turned to leave, loud footsteps interrupted. Someone burst in, bloodied and desperate. Covered in injuries, the man collapsed. Daru and Est rushed forward, alarmed by his condition. With panic in his voice, the injured scout warned of a demon near the outskirts. Shock spread through the room. No one had sensed it. Demons weren't supposed to appear. Born from Labyrinth, these monsters possessed devastating power, capable of wiping out entire nations alone. Confusion gripped the room. A demon appearing without signs at an intermediate level felt unnatural. Descending into the dungeon's middle layer, Athena faced a ferocious beast, unleashing her relentless sword strike. After Athena's attack succeeded, Frey readied herself for the next move, without hesitation or pause. Frey launched a fierce blow, but her reckless timing nearly endangered Athena, sparking heated frustration between them. Mirialia stepped in calmly, chastising both fighters for acting without awareness or coordination in the plan. Acknowledging her mistake, Athena fell silent, realizing how much they relied on Daru's past leadership and strategy. Then Frey expressed her impatience to grow stronger, while Athena urged patience and discipline over reckless ambition. While Athena encouraged rest, Mirialia hesitated to advance, quietly observing their drive to chase distant dreams. Daru's entrusted words in Mirialia's mind, reminding her to guide and protect their impulsive teammates. Conflicted by the responsibility, she questioned Daru's request until a scream suddenly shattered the dungeon's heavy silence. Reacting fast, they rushed into the shadows, unaware of the danger hiding in the silent dark. No bodies in sight, only silence raising doubts something this deadly existed on this dungeon level. Ahead in the shadows, Frey spotted unmoving figures near the tunnel's end, triggering urgent action. Rushing forward with weapons ready, Athena led while Mirialia stayed back, watching for unseen threats around them. Slain adventurers lay sprawled and bloodied, each pierced fatally, their final expressions frozen in shock and horror. Realizing too late, Frey and Athena stared in disbelief. Whoever struck them down had vanished without trace. Mirialia's instinct screamed these bodies weren't slain by monsters, but by something cruel and calculating. Frey recognized one corpse belonged to a silver-rank adventurer, confirming the enemy's terrifying strength and speed. Sudden tremors and thick smoke rolled in, shaking their nerves as something unknown approached without a sound. Athena and Frey froze. Overwhelmed by intense pressure, the threat ahead radiated murderous intent. Unlike anything before, without hesitation, Athena stepped forward, ordering the others to retreat, while preparing herself for an overwhelming confrontation. Athena insisted they escape and report the threat, knowing survival mattered more than reckless confrontation now. Torn by guilt and duty, she pleaded with Mirialia, entrusting her with the final decision. Suddenly, a severed head flew toward them, an ominous message that the enemy was already watching. Mirialia froze under pressure, mind racing between fear and resolve, refusing to abandon Athena to die. Before she could act, something struck. Sharp fingers gripped her face as mocking laughter filled the cavern. The moment that cold hand gripped her, Mirialia understood they stood no chance against him. With sadistic delight, the enemy examined her fear, savoring the helplessness frozen on her trembling face. A demon appeared near the city gates, an intermediate-class monster, strong enough to terrify everyone. Est trembled upon realizing Athena's team was likely in that dungeon. When the demon emerged, panic spread. Adventurers shouted about helping, but fear held them back from charging into danger. As orders flew to mobilize defenses, Est hesitated, whispering reasons not to get involved again. The man grabbed Est's collar, eyes fierce with urgency. "They need you. You're still one of us." Townspeople begged Est to act. Desperation filled their voices, as fear spread through the streets. Hearing their pleas, Est lowered his head. Memories stirred her smile. Their promise, his guilt. Daru's voice cut through the tension, challenging Est's conviction and his claim to leadership responsibility. Est stammered in protest, torn between abandoning the past and facing what truly mattered now. Daru stepped closer, gaze firm. "If you fall, those who believe in you will follow." Daru warned that Est's recklessness might endanger others if they blindly followed or sought revenge. Staying behind meant honoring his new path. Walking away would sever bonds he couldn't abandon. Fu and Sora's worried faces reminded Est why he couldn't abandon those who trusted him. Daru turned to leave, entrusting the rescue to himself, so Est could protect his companion. Taking command, Est instructed Fu and Sora to evacuate townspeople and prepare for defense. Est reflected silently, knowing his choices must protect them not for pride, but their survival. Guilt consumed Athena, but no apology could erase the fear carved into everyone's heart. Together they walked through the gate, united once more, facing whatever threat awaited beyond. A twisted demon held a girl hostage, laughing cruelly while others stood frozen in terror. No one moved. Fear paralyzed them, watching the demon tighten his grip with murderous delight. Mirialia cried out in pain as blood spilled. Athena rushed in, screaming her name helplessly. Despite the demon's grip, Mirialia urged them to run, choosing their safety over her life. A sudden counterattack erupted. Blades slashed through flesh as comrades leapt forward without hesitation. Frey charged with blazing fists, striking the demon mid-air while shouting his technique with fury. Wounded and howling, the demon reeled backward. Blood poured as rage twisted into unbearable agony. Mirialia coughed weakly, confirming survival. Athena warned of greater danger still looming outside the ruin. Arguments rose between them. Athena insisted on staying while others urged her to retreat immediately. Reason cut through panic. Mirialia proposed fighting together, trusting unity more than strength alone. Laughter echoed. The demon, though injured, revealed deception. He had barely begun to unleash real power. Wounds healed instantly, muscles tensed as dark energy surged. He mocked their failed attempt without flinching. Athena and Frey's strongest attacks failed. The enemy regenerated, rising with an unsettling, confident smile. Mirialia's panic deepened. His strength overwhelmed theirs, and even fatal injuries vanished within seconds of impact. With flames crackling at his fingertips, the Dark Warrior prepared to unleash his next onslaught. Dozens of blackened spears filled the sky, targeting the shocked trio without giving space to react. Paralyzed by pressure, Mirialia trembled. She realized his magic exceeded anything their party could counter together. Mirialia's body trembled as despair overwhelmed her. Death seemed certain beneath the demon's cruel smile. Without hesitation, he unleashed destruction. The ground erupted violently as laughter echoed from his twisted mouth. Through dust and ruin, Mirialia spotted her friends alive, injured, but still standing and ready. The enemy grinned, summoning more projectiles. His power surged again, threatening to erase them completely. Athena rushed forward with blade drawn, shielding her comrades as Frey prepared for another charge. Blocking countless incoming spikes, Athena held her ground while Mirialia watched in disbelief and rising dread. Frey launched forward, aiming to strike, but the enemy effortlessly caught her mid-air, grinning with amusement. Both warriors attacked simultaneously, blades piercing flesh fueled by rage as Mirialia cried out Frey's name. Burning light engulfed his body. Athena's strike landed deep, but he barely flinched, mocking her with laughter. Smoke cleared, revealing the foe unscathed. All efforts combined had failed to leave lasting damage. Bodies collapsed in pain, hope faded quickly as their efforts continued, proving useless against the demon. Despite trembling limbs and a battered body, Athena stood again, determined to keep resisting the odds. Strength wasn't something she believed. She had only the will to move forward, despite overwhelming fear. Dreams remained unfulfilled. Their journey wasn't meant to end buried in rubble and despair today. Survival meant more than breathing. Each one still clung tightly to the future they hadn't reached. Mirialia stood silently, watching the enemy mock their resolve with twisted admiration and maddening laughter. Frey stepped forward, bruised but defiant, ready to retaliate with fury despite overwhelming odds ahead. Excitement surged through the demon. He raised his hand, welcoming another clash with manic joy. A massive burning projectile launched, its power unmatched, but Mirialia whispered incantations, preparing her magic in desperation. Ice pillars erupted, shielding her comrades. She wouldn't let either of them die today. Strength surged in Mirialia's voice as she stepped forward, no longer willing to stay behind. Mirialia rejoined the front lines, gaze steady, announcing her resolve to fight without hesitation. Kerchant summoned a freezing glyph. The demon mocked her, unaware of the trap forming above. Sharp icicles rained down from the sky, crashing mercilessly upon the demon's exposed, overconfident form. Screams echoed as ice pierced him. Frey watched stunned, but Mirialia warned recovery would follow. A final spell, Ice Pick, struck clean through, impaling his chest as blood spilled and silence fell. Her power surged forward, but frustration grew. This magic alone couldn't shield her friends for long. Tears welled, yet her voice held steady. She'd protect them regardless of the price required. While Mirialia maintained the barrier, Athena advanced, slicing down threats with unwavering focus and precision. Relief warmed her chest. Seeing Athena's strength reminded her they weren't fighting alone anymore. She once believed watching Athena was enough until her own magic began drawing others' attention. Despite invitations from elite parties, she refused, believing talent alone was enough without extra effort. Admiration grew as Athena's words shone with hope. Her strength and passion became deeply inspiring. Simply standing beside her, witnessing that unwavering determination, was enough to make Mirialia feel fulfilled. That peaceful rhythm shattered after Estet's exile. Teamwork faltered, and Athena's sharpness visibly declined. Just when everything seemed unstable, Daru quietly stepped forward, offering his strength to hold them together. Support from Daru helped Athena and Frey grow, learning to face and accept their flaws. Despite struggles, both kept pushing forward, sharpening their strength, chasing dreams they once feared were unreachable. Watching their resolve reignite, Mirialia began questioning whether staying behind had ever truly satisfied her. Determination rose in her chest this time. She would fight with everything she had inside. A powerful blast pierced the demon's chest. Mirialia collapsed, but the enemy finally faltered in agony. She always believed her place was secure, until watching their determination began stirring deep unrest. Despite her doubts, hearing their fearless resolve during battle sparked something powerful she couldn't ignore. Standing behind them, she realized how far apart their courage was from her own hesitation. But when death loomed, Mirialia's instincts surged, determined to protect the ones who had inspired her. With fierce resolve, she cast her magic, unleashing a freezing attack that crushed the enemy's final move. The demon's overwhelming power left Frey and Athena barely standing. Their defeat seemed almost certain. Mirialia believed Daru might return, but without him now, she had to act immediately. Athena vowed to shield them with her life, while Mirialia prepared her final freezing spell. Channeling everything into one strike, Mirialia sealed the demon inside an unbreakable crystal tomb. Ice magic surged as Mirialia unleashed her final spell, trapping the demon with overwhelming force. Encased completely in crystal, the monster's body froze, silencing its rampage beneath layers of magic. Silence fell, but worry lingered. No one dared assume the battle had truly reached its end. Exhaustion overwhelmed her legs. Mirialia collapsed, admitting her power had nearly reached its absolute limit. Despite praise from her allies, she warned them the demon wasn't dead, and danger wasn't over. Cracks formed in the crystal prison, and their eyes widened as the impossible began to happen. An explosive force shattered everything. Power surged out, as the demon awakened with terrifying vitality and rage. No chance remained to run. The blast hit before they could escape or regroup properly. Emerging unharmed, the demon stood tall, mocking their efforts with a twisted, smug expression. He muttered to someone unseen, promising swift revenge for whatever grudge burned deep inside him. Mirialia dashed forward with fierce determination, ignoring Athena's call as focus sharpened in her eyes. Knowing the demon hadn't fully regenerated, she seized the moment to strike before recovery was complete. She summoned another powerful incantation, vowing to shield her comrades no matter what it would cost. A massive surge erupted beneath her feet as she unleashed the devastating ice storm spell. Crystals enveloped the enemy once again, and his agonized screams echoed under waves of freezing force. Desperately, she begged the ice to hold, clinging to hope it could still restrain him. The demon mocked their efforts, flames coiling as he prepared to counter with overwhelming fiery magic. His firestorm surged forward. Mirialia stood alone, powerless to stop it, strength already drained away. Regret filled her final thoughts as the attack swallowed everything, wishing she had been stronger sooner. Engulfed by flames, her body collapsed mid-spell, torn apart by fire despite all she had given. Ashes clung to her body as she whispered apologies, watching Athena and Frey scream helplessly. Images of Daru's trust resurfaced in her fading mind, his words echoing heavier than any wound. Her sacrifice fell short. Despite risking everything, Mirialia's strength wasn't enough to stop the demon. Miriel launched everything she had, but the demon's flames tore through her desperate final defense. Athena and Frey reached her too late. The demon laughed, mocking their fallen comrade's state. Bloodlust surged as the demon sniffed the air, hunger awakening at the scent of burning flesh. Frey struck with precision and fury, hurling the twisted creature into the ground with overwhelming force. Athena clutched Mirialia's body, trembling. Frey roared, demanding justice for what the monster had destroyed. Frey charged recklessly, but the demon caught her midair and violently slammed her into the ground. Spinning through the air, Frey hurtled downward. The demon grinned, preparing to end her life. Athena dashed in and struck, knocking Frey aside and catching her just before impact shattered bone. With trembling voice, Athena shouted the truth. Despite the damage, Mirialia's heart continued to fight. She examined Mirialia's wounds. They were severe, but hope remained, though fading fast with every second. A plan was needed. Acting without one had already cost Mirialia her strength and hope. They acknowledged the danger. One mistake would be fatal, but hesitation now would guarantee defeat. Confidence returned to their eyes. No more doubts remained. Together, they would test their limits. Memories of past battles stirred. Though inexperienced as a team, they'd survived worse with determination. Frey and Athena tightened their grip. No turning back, they had to fight as one. Both rushed forward, recalling Daru's lesson. Victory depended on cooperation, careful observation under pressure. Previous battles served as examples. When Athena led, Frey supported. Fire resistance dictated tactical positioning immediately. Dodging flame, Frey drew the demon's attention, forcing it to waste strength on fruitless attack. Smirking, she taunted the enemy, dancing between deadly blows while buying time for her allies. As the demon charged power, Daru's voice echoed this was the moment to strike decisively. Athena's sword found its mark, slicing across the demon's side with perfectly timed precision. Frey struck from behind, piercing through the distracted demon and ending their coordinated assault with pain surged through the demon's body. It staggered, confused by their seamless coordination strength. Despite exhaustion, the duo regrouped. Their attack caused real damage, but victory still felt distant. Clutching his wound, the demon trembled. Confusion overtook pride. He couldn't understand their unexpected resilience. Crushed and bleeding, the demon sat defeated while his enemies stood united, bound by shared resolve. The demon mocked teamwork, but they charged in unshaken, determined to prove him wrong. Blades clashed again. Despite brute strength, he struggled to suppress her unrelenting and well-timed pressure. A cue was shouted, and with precise timing, Frey launched forward with explosive speed. Heat Knuckle struck clean through, followed by a vicious slash that ripped through the enemy. With momentum on their side, coordinated strikes landed repeatedly. Everything they trained for led to this. A devastating strike landed deep. She focused everything into one perfect cut, unwavering and sharp. With a desperate cry, both warriors launched forward, unleashing a synchronized attack, fueled by resolve. Wounded and cornered, the demons slumped to the ground. Silence followed. Doubt filled their mind. Rage twisted his face. He rose again, bloodied and furious, vowing to end everything. Dark power gathered fast. The air trembled as he muttered one spell. Firestorm. Frey was caught in the blast, her body thrown violently through the searing spiral flame. Crashing into the ground, she didn't move. Shock and confusion spread as silence followed impact. Despite grievous wound, the demon rose again, his eyes locked on the last fighter standing. She rushed to strike, but he intercepted her blade and seized her throat mid-charge. Calmly, he dismissed her resistance. Fighting back any longer, in his eyes, was simply bothersome. Held mid-air by his grip, she struggled as he mocked their overconfidence and wasted efforts. Her strength faded while despair filled her chest. Victory was never within their reach. Fading consciousness brought memories of comrade. She blamed herself, calling her leadership a complete failure. Tears fell as she realized her dreams never came true. Only regrets remained in heart. Long ago, heroes once protected them. That memory sparked something buried deep in his spirit. The girl approached hesitantly, shaken from danger, while the stranger asked if they were unharmed. Without hesitation, Daru introduced himself boldly, declaring his goal to surpass all adventurers across the world. Those words left a deep impression. Mirialia's heart stirred, recalling her own forgotten dream of adventuring. Determined to reclaim that dream, she charged fiercely into battle, clashing with a monstrous enemy without fear. Her surprise attack landed true. The wounded demon screamed, stunned by her strength and identity. Rain fell as Mirialia collapsed, injured and exhausted, when a familiar presence finally appeared behind her. He stepped forward without hesitation, blade drawn, as her memory aligned him with someone she once admired. After becoming an adventurer, Athena first saw Daru slumped in a bar, alone and unapproached. Rumors swirled about the man, strong but unstable, a silver-rank adventurer with a tarnished, drunken reputation. Despite objections, Athena stepped forward confidently and apologized before daring to speak to the silent, seated warrior. Her invitation came unexpectedly, surprising Daru, as she earnestly asked him to join their uncertain, growing party. Something about his presence, though rough and distant, strangely resembled the person who once saved her. Athena hesitated, questioning if the man before her could truly be the one she remembered. She spoke with conviction, seeking strength from Daru, who might help them reach their goal together. Just as chaos erupted, a monstrous enemy roared, but Daru suddenly intervened without warning or hesitation. With impossible speed, he slashed through the demon's magic, leaving Athena shocked by his overwhelming force. Having tracked her down, Daru arrived from the guild, blade ready, asking if she was safe. Athena trembled, acknowledging his arrival, yet still burdened by helplessness despite being the party's leader. Daru explained Frey was injured protecting her, and Mirialia fought desperately while she watched powerless. Tears fell as she confessed her failure, blaming herself for everything, unable to prevent their suffering. Without sympathy, he struck her cheek, snapping her out of despair, demanding focus over self-pity and regret. Offering a potion, he instructed her to hide and help the others, Relieved she'd survived, Athena checked on her fallen comrades, whispering their name, hoping their efforts weren't in vain. Daru praised their bravery, offering quiet reassurance through a calm expression, giving her strength to stand again. She was tasked to protect the injured while he moved forward, and she agreed to wait. As the enemy regenerated, cursed energy surged, its form unstable but vengeful, ready to strike with brutal force. Daru analyzed the demon's weakened state, realizing it had recently been born, but still regenerated with alarming speed. Anger surged through Daru as he faced the demon's threat, swearing never to forgive him. An explosion erupted. Athena called out, watching Daru launch himself skyward toward the advancing enemy. The demon smirked, underestimating his opponent, but Daru's speed overwhelmed him before he could react or counter. A fierce blow landed. Steel tore through flesh, fueled by the memory of those who suffered. From afar, Athena watched in awe. Daru fought alone against what the entire party couldn't defeat. Blades clashed fiercely as Daru's strikes mirrored the same strength Athena once witnessed long ago. Recognition lit her eyes through movement and spirit. She finally understood Daru's true identity without doubt. Enraged by the enemy's cruelty, he attacked relentlessly, each swing fueled by rage and protective resolve. Even the demon's regeneration failed to stop him. Daru's sword carved through with unmatched, unwavering precision. Steel clashed again, but in Athena's eyes, that familiar back confirmed what her heart already knew. Wounded but unwavering, Daru pressed forward while the demon screamed in agony, struggling to recover. Observing the weakened foe, he realized its immature state and committed to finishing it immediately. Suddenly, the demon cried for its mother, begging for power as a surge began forming. Dark energy swirled violently. Both Daru and Athena sensed danger as the demon's form rapidly transformed again. Dark energy surged violently as the monster began absorbing power directly from the core labyrinth veins. A twisted grin formed as its strength grew. Muttering thanks, it embraced this unholy gift. Muscles bulged and horns twisted skyward, now towering. The creature declared its power to annihilate everyone present. Tentacles sprouted unnaturally. Their magical aura overwhelmed reason. Both warriors immediately sensed the power shift. Blades clashed against conjured spikes, forced backward. He struggled. The monster taunted, feinting before striking again. Spikes erupted across the battlefield, forcing everyone into cover. He shouted furiously, yet the demon laughed. Rather than retreat, Athena stood firm. She clenched her fists, vowing to fight without Daru's protection. Without hesitation, she raised her sword, placing herself between danger and the fallen. Issuing a command to protect, attacks flew wildly. Her blade parried each one, but the force cracked her weapon, drawing blood. Despite trembling arms and injury, she swore silently to shield the unconscious pair with everything she had. Spikes rained down violently. Daru rushed ahead, but Athena had already thrown herself into harm's way. Athena collapsed in Merelia's arms, bloodied but breathing, her body shielding both friends from fatal blows. Relieved by Athena's pulse, Daru checked their injury. Merelia still needed time. Potions weren't enough. Smoke cleared. The demon returned, stepping forward with murderous intent, ready to erase what remained alive. Cornered and uncertain, Daru glanced at his wrist. That bracelet might be his final option now. Dark magic spiraled outward. As he hesitated, aware a misfire could harm the injured behind him. Gritting his teeth, he prepared to strike fast, knowing this gamble was their only chance. The demon launched a devastating spell, its vortex expanding violently while he shielded the collapsed bodies behind him. As despair gripped his heart, a mysterious figure approached with unwavering resolve and a flowing cape. The demon's attack closes in. Daru panics, unsure if escape or resistance is even possible. He raises his hand instinctively. A brilliant light barrier forms, shielding him from incoming destruction. Despite the barrier, the demon retaliates. Daru charges forward, blade ready, catching the enemy off guard. Suddenly, Est appears with allies. Daru, stunned, sees the once banished teammate standing firm beside friend. Before the battle, Est learned everything. At the guild, whispers warned him of Daru's peril. Est finally accepts his role. Inspired by Daru's words, he acknowledges his duty to lead. A shocking truth dawns: Athena's decision wasn't betrayal, but a desperate act to protect Est. Est faces his companion. As leader of Starlight, he promises to defend them without hesitation. Though torn between duty and fear, Est tries to stay, yet his companions offer unwavering resolve. Together, they stand firm. Their loyalty to Est is unshaken. They choose him, not just the mission. Est's companions refuse to let him bear everything. They insist on fighting alongside him equally. Seeing their resolve, S remains speechless. His heart trembles at words he could never voice. In silence he reflects. His growth only began after banishment shattered his false sense of security. He finally understands true strength lies in choosing to protect, not depending on others to endure everything. Athena had silently carried his weakness for too long. He now sees the weight she bore. A firm decision formed. He couldn't stay behind. Support or not, he would go regardless. He pleaded for one thing only. If they followed, they must survive no matter what. Without hesitation, his companions agreed. Regret already burned in him. Inaction would haunt him forever. Arriving too late, he found fallen allies impaled. Guilt and grief surged through his chest. His resolve hardened. Facing the charging demon, he struck fiercely, intercepting its deadly magic mid-attack. A sudden crash halts everyone. Est watches silently as the enemy is flung into rubble. Daru questions his presence. Est explains his purpose: rescue Athena and evacuate the wounded immediately. He respects Est's growth. As a fellow leader, he shares the same protective instinct now. With injured comrades secured, Est requests cover. Someone must hold the line for their retreat. Carrying wounded on his back, he challenges Daru's pride. His words land with quiet weight. Trust placed in Est remains unshaken. Responsibility now rests on him to carry them away. Urgency rises as the demon stirs. Est responds without hesitation, leading the retreat without delay. Before parting, Daru expresses quiet gratitude. Their strained history fades beneath shared purpose and mutual respect. Glancing back one last time, Est whispers a plea, hoping Daru survives the fight ahead. After barely surviving the labyrinth's dangers, Est leads Stardust to safety beneath the forest canopy. Panic rises as a teammate gasps weakly. Est hears the cry and halts without hesitation. Beneath the shade, he kneels beside her. Urgent first aid begins as tension thickens silently. Not long ago, betrayal split the mess. Watch silently as the angry warrior abandoned the crumbling party. Athena wakes, dazed by Est's presence, haunted by guilt, unsure if rescue or forgiveness is real. She jolts awake, startled by Est's presence, confused whether she's dreaming or still trapped inside. With calm urgency, Est explains the situation outside the labyrinth, asking her to rest quietly. As she worries about the demon, Est assures her Daru is still holding it back. Tears fall as Athena confesses guilt, recalling the moment she cast him out in anger. Sitting beside her, Est speaks gently, believing her choice came from care, not betrayal or hate. Memories return as Athena listens. Est recounts Daru's belief. Leaders must protect their entire party. Sitting quietly beside her, he acknowledges past weakness, grateful for the strength she once gave. Regret fills him. Chores and effort were his silent apology for taking her protection for granted. Realization dawned too late. His dependence placed silent pressure, an unseen weight on her every step. Had things stayed unchanged, Est would have perished. Athena recognized that truth before he could see it. Lying on the ground, he finally understands banishment wasn't rejection, but a desperate attempt to protect. She admits her weakness. Cruel words were a shield, fearing she'd fail to let him go. Tears stream as she confesses. Harsh words were chosen only to force him away decisively. Back in quieter moments, sorrow spills, apologies shared softly, regret filling the silence between long-separated allies. Their voices tremble with honesty, both carry guilt, both seek forgiveness, both finally speak from the heart. Lying beside Est, she accepts his words, acknowledging her faults without excuses or denial anymore. She grips his hand, grateful she lived long enough to apologize and express heartfelt thanks. Smiles return as healing completes. Her friends awaken, and relief spreads quietly through the reunited group. Est offers his hand. She rises, determined. Together they prepare to leave the forest clearing. Glancing toward the cave, she refuses to interfere, believing Daru's fight must continue without her. Confidence masks uncertainty. She clings to hope that Daru's strength will overcome the unseen danger ahead. Sudden pressure fills the air. Everyone freezes, startled by an overwhelming surge of unknown magical power. Despite initial fear, they realize the energy source isn't demonic. It feels unfamiliar, yet strangely controlled. Confusion sets in as magical mist rises. Something is missing. Daru's presence suddenly cannot be sensed. As the cave trembled, Daru carried Est's wounded body, fearing he might already be dying. Est's words echoed faintly while retreating allies vanished. A sinister presence stirred from deep within, blocking their escape. The demon emerged from the mist, declaring death upon all who fled. Daru stepped forward, unwavering, claiming strength alone wasn't enough to defeat him in this moment. With monstrous fury, the demon lunged, promising to slaughter Daru and everyone who dared oppose him. Daru gripped his sword tightly, refusing to believe the enemy could defeat him so easily. With steady resolve, he tightened the enchanted bracer, declaring he'd never allow such destruction again. He admitted losing his will to live, aimlessly wandering, unsure why he still held a sword. Alcohol dulled his grief after her death. Every morning brought silence, and purpose had vanished completely. Then Miralia, Athena, and Frey appeared through them. He remembered dreams he thought forever buried. He watched Miralia, Frey, and Athena laugh together, wishing to witness their future strength blossom. Athena's smile returned to his memory, reinforcing the vow to protect that distant hope. Power surged through his body. Abandoning them now would mean betraying everything he had rebuilt. Facing the stunned demon, Daru's voice thundered with fury. No one else would die today. Confused and shaken, the demon sensed rising pressure, overwhelmed by more than just raw magic alone. Anxious thoughts crept in. Despite overwhelming power, something about Daru's presence felt dangerously wrong. Without hesitation, the demon unleashed a blazing vortex, attempting to end the fight instantly. Daru's blade sliced cleanly through the storm, his calm gaze unsettling the demon even further. Stepping through the aftermath unfazed, he met the demon's stare, now laced with rising panic. Multiple fiery projectiles burst forward, the demon shouting defiantly, convinced no one could endure such power. Shaken and confused, the demon questioned how Daru's power surged after casting off the bracelet. Daru launched forward, weapon infused with raw force, cleaving apart the raging vortex without flinching once. Smoke cleared as he stepped closer. Calm voice declared his attack phase had just begun. The demon sensed an unnatural mix within Daru's power, an energy unfamiliar yet terrifying in nature. As the stance shifted, Daru's strength hinted at more than one soul fueling his magic. Daru's awakened aura stunned the demon, who refused to believe one man held such power. Smiling with calm certainty, he confirmed the truth: his strength came from more than just training. Not born with it, he inherited this mysterious force from someone who once meant everything. A dying woman's final gift, passed with a smile, entrusted her power to Daru's soul. Channeling that memory, he called to her spirit, pleading for her strength in this moment. One decisive swing launched forward, unstoppable, slicing deep into the demon's body, tearing through defenses instantly. Despite resistance, the creature staggered back, wounded and gasping, unable to deflect the overwhelming force. Fear struck him. Daru's fused power exceeded natural limits, amplified far beyond anything he had imagined. Realizing the difference, the demon panicked, knowing no technique could withstand such power without consequence. Cornered in the ice cavern, he muttered disbelief. No human should survive magic of that magnitude. Two allies fell instantly, pierced by merciless blades he'd deliberately hidden his true strength until now. Facing the frozen chamber, Daru realized the enemy's magic couldn't last without self-destructive consequences. The demon boasted about controlling terrain, unaware Daru's counterstrike had already begun tearing through the barrier. Shards exploded outward as Daru's wave shattered the wall, leaving the demon frozen in shock. Seeing the collapsed path, the demon staggered forward, unable to believe his defense had failed. Daru advanced calmly, his expression unreadable, while the demon braced himself in disbelief and fear. Desperate for survival, the demon cried out to his mother, summoning forbidden strength from black flame. Roaring with madness, he launched a devastating spell, multiple vortexes tearing toward Daru with fatal speed. Facing overwhelming force, Daru stood unfazed, eyes shut, centering himself as chaos spiraled all around him. Later, at peace, he dined with friends, victory secured, war behind. The journey had truly ended. Black vortexes closed in as the demon lunged forward, unleashing his ultimate move, conquering Battle Claw. A clean, decisive slash shattered everything. Daru's calm gaze met the demon's fear-struck, fading expression. A final strike pierced the vortex, ending the fierce struggle that would redefine Stardust's legacy forever. The demon attempted healing, but Daru's enchanted slash left no path to regeneration or escape. Fear overwhelmed him. Pleas echoed, yet countless innocents had begged too, and none were ever spared. Daru promised no mercy. With calm resolve, he vowed to reunite the monster with allies. Ash drifted into silence, sword lowered, breath steady. Justice delivered. One less darkness remained in Stardust. Outside the cavern, S sensed Daru's mana weakening. Concerned, they prepared to return immediately together. Injured allies awakened confused, relieved by familiar faces, carried safely from battle's aftermath by trusted hand. Despite confusion, worried questions surfaced. Caregivers urged rest, reminding them recovery must come before answer. Athena explained the situation clearly. After Mirialia fell, the enemy overwhelmed everyone until help arrived. Est and Daru's team had intervened just in time, rescuing comrades before darkness claimed them all. Est's quiet words carried relief. His timely arrival had turned despair into a narrow rescue. Tears surfaced as gratitude replaced doubt. Est's team had braved danger without hesitation or recognition. Athena bowed her head, overcome with regret. She had failed, yet others had saved them. A soft smile from Est acknowledged her pain. Meanwhile, others panicked, realizing Daru fought alone. Though worried, they agreed rushing back now would hinder more than help. Daru could handle himself. A silhouette stepped from the cave. S pointed quickly. Athena's eyes widened, heart skipping beats. Daru appeared, bruised but standing. With a soft smile, he greeted them like nothing happened. They rushed to him in disbelief. Relief surged. Daru confirmed the demon's defeat with confidence. Surprise spread through the group. Est questioned Daru's strength, impressed by the impossible feat accomplished. Jokes faded into silence. Athena said nothing, just stared, knowing his strength masked something unspoken inside. Athena questioned him directly. Daru grinned, half joking, but his answer held quiet truth beneath it. Tears broke free. She believed him all along, relieved more by his survival than victory. Fatigue overwhelmed his body. Despite his strength, the aftermath left him barely able to stand. Without hesitation, S stepped in. Athena supported the other side. Daru finally accepted their help. Laughter returned. Offers poured in. Surrounded by friends, Daru smiled, battle-scarred, but no longer alone. Wounds slowly healing, they walked together toward town. Conflict ended, trust rekindled, and bonds reforged in silence. News of the demon's defeat spread, but Daru was furious over the article's false credit. Despite the recognition, Daru and Frey felt overlooked, angered by how the truth was distorted. Athena questioned Daru's silence. He humbly insisted the victory didn't belong to him alone. Looking solemn, Daru admitted the triumph was shared, born from teamwork, not personal strength or glory. Mirialia noticed a bracelet, an unspoken clue hinting someone else had aided Daru during the fierce battle. Mirialia eyed Daru's wrist cautiously, questioning if the mysterious bracelet held a deeper meaning. He finally spoke, revealing the bracelet held a comrade's magic, one lost in past battles. The room stiffened as Daru admitted his connection to a disbanded party known as Full Down. He described his former teammates Crane the Elf, Isak the Warrior, and the magician Aisha. Together they rose swiftly through the rank, a gifted team bound by talent and trust. Confidence filled the group as they entered the labyrinth, unaware danger already watched from the shadows. Despite warnings, they joked and dreamed aloud, certain their strength could conquer anything ahead of them. Their ambition shattered when a powerful demon emerged, far beyond anything they had ever faced. Overwhelmed instantly, they realized this creature surpassed even Daru's recent foe in both strength and menace. Aisha reacted without hesitation, sacrificing herself to block the attack that would have ended Daru's life. Gold-ranked parties arrived too late. The demon fell, but Aisha's life had already slipped away. Wounded and fading, she offered her power, begging Daru to survive and carry it forward. Everyone recognized Aisha's greatness, a powerful magician, whose loss marked the party's most painful wound. Her magic, too immense to control, was sealed into a bracelet crafted by Crane's hand. Holding the bracelet tight, Daru affirmed his belief. Victory had never been his strength alone. Rather than take all the credit, he claimed collaboration to avoid misunderstandings and inflated praise. He remembered that moment clearly, unsure how his silence and actions had been interpreted. Facing them with sincerity, he offered thanks, his first step forward after years of silent pain. Losing Aisha shattered his drive. Her death dissolved the team and left him drifting alone. Hope reignited as he watched Stardust fight. Their effort reminded him why he once believed. He confessed a quiet wish to witness his friend's dreams fulfilled with his own eyes. Grateful for their support, he thanked Athena for reaching out when he'd lost his way. After wandering in grief, her words gave him purpose and the strength to begin again. Everyone was stunned, especially Frey, learning that Daru had been carrying these thoughts all along. Encouraged by his honesty, Frey vowed to grow stronger and continue forward beside him. Warmth spread through the room as silent emotions stirred within Athena, her thoughts quietly shifting inside. Daru's secrets are exposed. While emotions overflow, Stardust chooses acceptance despite lingering uncertainties. Frey requests water, but everyone feigns injury. Daru volunteers silently, masking awkward kindness with sarcasm. Alone by the sink, he reflects, puzzled by his own uncharacteristically gentle response earlier. Athena finds Daru mid-task. Gratefulness fills him as past scars don't define current bonds anymore. As their conversation softens, Mirialia suggests a journey together, hinting at healing beyond the battlefield. Athena reflects on her battle with the demon, realizing her strength alone wasn't enough anymore. Determined to improve, she declares her goal: travel, grow stronger, and pursue her long-held dream. Daru listens as she explains her experience and motivation, finding the idea unexpectedly fitting for now. Athena reminds Daru of a time he helped them, long before names and status mattered. Years ago, his bravery saved a distant village, an act she never forgot, nor ever repaid. Memories from 5 years ago surface. Daru finally connects their past to those saved children. Grateful eyes meet his. She recalls his words, the ones that shaped her path forward. Inspired by his courage, She once dreamed of adventure. That spark never faded, only grew. Her heartfelt thanks reaches him deeply. What once seemed meaningless now held incredible weight and value. Hope renewed, they begin their journey. A distant village calls with possibilities waiting to unfold. Recalling Akisha's advice, he accepted her suggestion without knowing how deeply it would matter. Footsteps echo beside Athena as Daru reflects on battles fought and lives protected because of Akisha. Their bond began in that moment. Her memory remained tied to every step since then. As butterflies danced nearby, quiet appreciation filled him. No words needed, only peace and forward motion. Gratitude lingered in the breeze. 5 days passed, but her impact stayed in their hearts. Excited voices flood the square. Locals praise Starlight, the heroes falsely credited with defeating evil. Cheers continue as awkward silence grows. Starlight's members question the credit they didn't truly earn. S reads headlines declaring them demon slayers. Fame spreads, but truth remains hidden beneath headline. Lost in thought, S doesn't hear his team. Something in the news clearly unsettles him. Concern builds among his companions. They wonder if his heart still belongs with Stardust's legacy. Fu reminds S of his growth. His former weakness no longer defines who he is. Glancing at the headline, he hesitates. If redemption is possible, would they truly accept him? Conflict stirs within S. They urge reflection, offering support while stepping aside from his decision. An open invitation remains. If his heart still yearns for them, he knows where to go. Their firm response calms him. Silent loyalty from Fu and Sora gently anchors his uncertain. Crowds faded behind as Est remained seated, silently wrestling with the weight of his decision. Est passed through the town, uncertain if he would rejoin his former comrades or move forward. Frey radiated joy, thrilled by the thought of adventure and challenges waiting beyond the village walls. Inside, preparations continued as each companion committed themselves to training harder and growing even stronger. Quietly, Miralia admitted her doubts, realizing her strength alone had never truly been enough before. Recalling the battle's failure, Daru questioned his resolve, remembering why their dreams still mattered to him. Miralia and Daru pledged silently to become stronger, to support Athena and Frey without hesitation. He recognized her determination and accepted it, realizing she too carried hopes for their future journey. Meanwhile, Frey suggested inviting Est again, wondering if they had truly made peace with the past. Athena smiled, acknowledging Est's new path, but refused to burden him with their past decisions. As the door opened, she faced Est with resolve, preparing to offer only parting words. Est stood silently at the doorway, stunned to see Athena and the others waiting inside. Athena hesitated, explaining their departure, while Est struggled to express what his dream had once meant. He revealed his original goal to become the world's greatest adventurer, chasing that dream alongside Athena. Though resentment lingered from his banishment, Est admitted the pain had shaped him into someone stronger. He recognized her intent had been kindness, and through it, he found strength, purpose, and comrade. Gratitude filled Est's voice as he thanked them sincerely, finally free from past regrets and doubts. With a smile, he acknowledged their role in his growth, no longer bound by bitterness. His gaze lifted to the sky, declaring a future shared with his current comrades at Starlight. Confidence surged through the room as Daru and the others silently accepted Est's sudden but friendly challenge. A spark of rivalry ignited. Now, it was a race to reach the world's greatest heights. Two hands met in a firm handshake, sealing their shared respect and unspoken understanding at last. Tears accompanied smiles as they promised to walk forward separately, giving their best from now on. With steady steps, Est turned to leave, prepared to reunite with the comrades he now trusted. He entrusted Athena and the others to Daru, confident they would be in capable hands. Daru accepted the responsibility with a calm nod, watching Est disappear beneath the sky's quiet farewell. Crowds bustled around Est as he reunited with new allies, each step echoing quiet determination forward. Back in town, Daru's party stood prepared, every member carrying their own hope and resolve. Smiles formed without hesitation. This marked the beginning of their journey, not the end of something long. Together they stepped beneath the canopy of trees, walking forward to live the story they now claim.